Hey, welcome back to Cooking Course. Thanks for joining me again. Here at Cooking Course, we don't talk about fine cooking, we talk about cooking coarse, actually trying to get dinner done for you and your family for the night. Doesn't have to be fancy, but it can be better. It can go from, hey, this is pretty good, to wow. And some of these small bits and pieces of skills that I'm showing you, I hope that you come up with your own repertoire, ways that you like to cut items, ways that I might show you to fillet something, new inspirational ways to saute or make sauces. You take these bits and pieces of information, write your own recipe book. It can't be wrong if it's yours. If you made it up, can't possibly be wrong. So this is what I'm trying to inspire people to do. Be creative with it and don't follow these recipes. One of the skills that we can learn is cleaning green peppers. And this is a really cool way to do this, because the problem with the green pepper is that you've got this cage inside with all the seeds. And the mistake a lot of people make is taking out their knife and chopping the top of the pepper off, or chopping it in half and spilling all the seeds all over the cutting board. So here's our trusty green pepper. It can be a red pepper, it can be a yellow pepper, it can be any kind of bell pepper. But you see at these dimples here all along, this is where the cage connects to the flesh. Now here's the mistaken part, where we just cut the top off like that. Now here's the cage with all these seeds, and what do? We pull our hands in here, we pull all this stuff out, seeds all over our cutting board, and then we go in here and get this white pith. This white pith is very bitter. It's not nearly as sweet as the flesh. So what are you going to do? Go in here and try and pull it out with your hands? Well, let's take another knife stroke and go ahead and cut that in half. And now we got all this stuff. Let's try and scrape that out with our fingers. Now over here, maybe we'll cut the pith out there. Look at this mess that we've got here. I'll show you a much better way to cut your green pepper. If we want to clean this green pepper in a fashion that doesn't have the seeds spilling all over the cutting board and making a whole bunch of mess for us, as well as give us a nice fillet of the flesh that we can then go ahead and julienne or dice, I'll show you how to do it in much fewer cuts. This is the more appropriate way to do it. All right, now here's my green pepper that we've already explained. At these dimples is where that white pith attaches to the flesh. So what I'm going to do is, in the contour of the pepper itself, start my first knife cut up here at the top and run the knife between the flesh and the pith. So you see how my knife there is naturally carving that cage out. I'll bend the knife toward the bottom, and my first cut leaves this pith intact and gives me this nice fillet that doesn't have much of the white pith on it. My second cut now with my knife, I will cut it radially the same way around, cutting behind the pith and in front of the flesh. So as I continue to cut around, and you can see I'm coming out with this one piece of fillet behind the cage, in front of the pith and behind the flesh, that is, and I wind up with this one piece of green pepper, this fillet, and my cage intact, not spilling, except for the two on my finger there, not spilling any seeds on the cutting board. This can now be discarded. I don't have to chase seeds all over the place. And now with my nice fillet, I can go back with my tip fulcrum method and go ahead, shaking the table and the camera, go ahead and slice that into strips. The strips I can then turn sideways and go ahead and cut those into dice. So this is a much more expeditious way to clean green peppers. Don't ever wipe the knife with your finger like I did. This is a much more expeditious way to clean green peppers and not have to chase the seeds all over the cutting board. Now with these nice fillets that I have, there's a lot of different things that we can do with these. And these are just green peppers that you saw we can cut into julienne strips for like fajitas or stir fry or something like that. But keep this in mind. Remember this episode, or write down the number or something, because when we get closer to holiday time, we start talking about holiday appetizers. We're going to show you how to roast and, in a similar fashion, carve the cage out and fillet a red pepper. When you roast and fillet the red pepper, we could fill it with goat cheese or any kind of fillings and roll it up, cut it, and you have this red and white pinwheel as a great appetizer for the holidays. So remember the way we carved this green pepper today. It's going to come in handy in a few other methods that we do. Thank you again. Oh, but thank you for your comments, by the way. Those that have been sending me comments either on the video blog at WordPress or on your YouTube comments, I do appreciate them. I try and answer all of them. If you have some suggestions for topics that you'd like to see, sure, send them to me. But tune in again tomorrow on Cooking Coarse. We'll be showing you more tidbits of information that you can put your own ideas together, demystify some of these recipes, and share some chef secrets to give you confidence to get back in the kitchen. We'll see you tomorrow.